Welcome to the Culture Builders Podcast. Today's episode is an article at tocculture.com, and you can get these articles by subscribing to our weekly newsletter at tocculture.com and also using the link in the details of today's episode. Today's article, The Power of a Consistent and Sometimes Boring Review Process. So recently I had an enlightening conversation with a coach whose team had just achieved the remarkable feat of winning a national title in their country's highest level of basketball. And as we discussed their journey, I asked him, what's the one thing that nobody in the media or fan base is talking about, but made the biggest difference in your championship run this year? And without a moment's hesitation, he replied, our after-action review process. This straightforward response surprised me. He went on to explain how the process oftentimes felt monotonous, despite their best efforts to inject some variety throughout the season. Yet he firmly believed that this seemingly dull routine of reflection was the bedrock of their success. The boring but effective review process. So what did this process look like? It was deceptively simple, yet incredibly powerful. First, they reviewed values and behaviors. The team utilized a Google survey with 3 to 5 questions that remained largely unchanged. These questions prompted players to reflect on their experiences, asking them to rate different aspects of their performance on a scale of 1 to 10, along with providing short, open-ended answers. This allowed for focused yet straightforward feedback. They also did, secondly, breakout groups for after-action reviews. In these sessions, the coach would act as a facilitator, guiding discussions by posing 1 or 2 key questions. Although the questions oftentimes felt repetitive, they were essential in reinforcing the core values the team aimed to embody. To keep the energy alive and encourage diverse perspectives, players would regularly break into pairs or small groups, constantly mixing things up. This dynamic interaction fostered an environment where players could share insights and learn from one another. The magic ingredient in this whole process? Consistency. Remember, boring isn't always bad. Consistency is key. Let's be honest. Many people find the idea of a structured review process a bit tedious. However, there's undeniable power in repetition. This approach to continuous improvement, known as Kaizen in Japanese, has been utilized by the Navy SEALs for decades and emphasizes the importance of small, incremental changes that lead to significant outcomes over time. It can be tempting to skip those 3 to 5 minutes after practice for an after-action review, especially whenever everyone is eager to head home. Yet it's just as simple to make these discussions a regular part of the routine, whether in person or even through a team text group. The key is to make it a non-negotiable for practice. There's never a perfect time. Consistency reinforces values and standards. So when I reflect on my journey while writing The Culture System, I often think about the chapter I regrettably omitted titled Intentionally Reflect for Success After Action Reviews. It's a topic that deserves more attention, in my opinion, as it's vital for fostering a culture of accountability and growth. But here's the good news. You can still access a PDF copy of this insightful chapter, and here's how. First, just leave a review of The Culture System on Amazon, your e-reader, or Audible, wherever you purchased it. Secondly, email support@tocculture.com to let us know you've shared your thoughts. And lastly, receive a 14-page PDF that includes bonus chapters 1 and 2, offering practical guidance on implementing before and after action reviews in your own team. Just a note, some of you may have received the book as a gift or got it as part of a bulk order through your athletic department or club. If that's the case, you can just leave the review at Goodreads.